morning, Emerson. Today is Thursday, March 27th. A deadly fire erupted in our own backyard last night. Bree Baxter will have more about the blaze.
And Lady Gaga drops her new music video on NBC, and let's just say it was a little unpredictable. Christian Metric will recap the weirdest moments coming up.
Lady Gaga and unpredictable. Usually
Figures,
those two
right?
go together. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Mike Lupo.
And I'm Brittany Drury. We have a great show for you guys today. Sharon Johnson's in studio to whip us into summer shape, which means we're going through boot camp.
Yeah, high-intensity workouts like in the ones you see in an Insanity DVD. We tried them before the show, and we are feeling muscles that we don't usually feel.
I didn't even know they existed.
And then after that, we have the multi-talented Michelle Martinelli on the show. She's a cast member in the new The Donkey Show, but she's also the host of the 33rd Annual EVVY Awards, which, as we all know, is the largest student-run multi-camera award show in the nation. I've been practicing that for 2 years in hopes that one day I could take Michelle's job.
We also have Bianca Bono here in studio to recap your March Madness news.
Yeah, games start off tonight. The Sweet 16 kicks off tonight. It'll be interesting to see who her picks are for the events.
Absolutely. But before we start, we're going to turn it over to Brianna Baxter, who has our details on the 9-alarm fire yesterday.
Good morning. It is a tragic story for Bostonians. Just a short walk away from Emerson, a 9-alarm fire broke out in one of Back Bay's beautiful brownstones. As of now, officials are saying 2 firefighters died and more than a dozen people were sent to the hospital. The 2 firefighters were Edward Walsh of Roxbury and Michael Kennedy of Hyde Park. Walsh was a father of 3, while Kennedy was a Marine veteran. Mayor Martin Walsh thanked them, saying, "These 2 heroes ran into a burning building and got people out of the burning building." The 2 were found in the basement where the fire began. It soon spread to the 4th story. Smoke clouds could be seen from most areas of Boston. Boston Fire Department spokesman Steve McDonald says more than 150 firefighters and nearly 30 trucks answered the alarm. It was an extremely windy day in the city, which fanned the flames, making matters worse. No word on what started the fire, but we will be following the story closely to keep you updated. And while Obama is focused on international relations, his administration is still running a tight ship when it comes to health care. The open enrollment for Obamacare ends in a week. The administration has announced it will not extend the March 31st deadline, but some Americans can still get extra time on their applications. They're considering allowing those who start the process before the deadline additional time to finish them. It is a little leeway for many. Health insurance is now required. Anyone not covered will face a penalty this year, so it is important for Americans to be aware of the fast approaching deadline. If you thought Facebook was slowly taking over the world, you might be onto something. The company announced Tuesday it plans to buy Oculus VR. For a measly $2 billion, the social network company will take over a virtual reality business. Oculus is known for its gaming headsets that respond to head movements. The headset, which is called Oculus Rift, is not yet on the market. It has only been used at tech industry events. But with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg behind the company, it is very possible the device will soon be available to consumers. Zuckerberg said of Oculus that it gets them ready for the platforms of tomorrow. Does this mean eventually you'll be able to post a status just by thinking it? Social media of the future sounds a little scary. And sports broadcaster Jerry Remy is a beloved New Englander and is known as the president of Red Sox Nation. But now the attention has been drawn away from his air guitar playing and sports antics to his son, Jared Remy, on trial for murder. His son, Jared, pleaded not guilty to murder and assault. The victim, Jennifer Martell, was the mother of Jared's 5-year-old daughter, Ariana. Ariana has been in the custody of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, and an ongoing battle for guardianship between the Remys and the maternal grandparents, Brian and Patricia Martell, has ended. The Martells were given guardianship while the Remys have visitation rights. In the meantime, Jared Remy is being held without bail while he awaits trial. That is all the news I have for today. Back to the couch.
Thanks, Bree. It's really scary to think about the Beacon Street fire yesterday, right in our backyard. But how do you think that the city handled this tragedy overall?
Well, Mike, when the outcome is that all the residents got out of the fire and the only lives lost were those of firefighters, I would say that the city did all that it could, obviously,
Right.
especially those firefighters.
Yeah, you don't want to hear about any deaths, but as long as the civilian deaths would be, the worst.
Right. Now going back to the Jeremy Remy story, the family must be pretty heartbroken over this. I remember hearing about this a little while ago. But has he made any statements yet to the press about his son?
They have not made any statements yet about the custody battle, but they have spoken about Jared recently, saying that, they did know that he had a pretty rough past, but they never saw him turn this violent. And so I think they're just as shocked as everyone else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brianna. Now to turn it over to the weather, Maddie, I'm pretty sure I saw you flying around Boston yesterday. What was that about?
Brittany, I almost blew away yesterday in those gale force winds. Hi, Brittany and Mike. But I do have some good news today. We have some warm temperatures and sun for the rest of the week. Thank goodness. Today is 43 and sunny, so not too warm, but hopefully that sun will make things at least pleasant during the day. Tonight will be mostly clear, but the high for the night will be 32 degrees, so just above freezing outside. Bundle up tonight and watch out for the wind because it's going to be in full force. Tomorrow we see our first high temperature of 55 degrees, but that does come with a price. We have a 50% chance of some rain tomorrow, so bring an umbrella with you throughout the day. And our 5-day forecast is showing rain this weekend. It's only fitting as we enter the month of April that we should see some April showers. Saturday will be 48 degrees and we'll definitely see some rain on Saturday. Sunday will be 42 with a chance of rain, but that chance is pretty high at 70%. Monday, the rain should let up and the high for the beginning of the week will be 50 and it'll definitely be overcast. Guys, I'm not looking for tropical warmth, but a day that actually feels like 50 degrees would be nice. Do you know what I mean? I'll be back next week, hopefully with some good news. Back to you, Brittany and Mike.
Thanks
Thank you, Madeline.
Now, we have a viral video here that I showed you yesterday that I want to show the rest of our audience. It gets your heart rate pumping, and it is kind of ridiculous. It's two men jumping off the top of the Freedom Tower. Take a look at this. What you're seeing right here is the first guy jumping off the Freedom Tower, and now the guy with the GoPro is about to jump off the building
Here goes,
also.
gets a running start.
Oh my, it's like the worst roller coaster ever. First off, look at this view. Oh my, like I'm nervous looking at this. But it is an incredible view of the city. Highly, highly illegal. There were 4 people in total that jumped off this building.
Yeah, they were
not
all
just any
arrested.
building, the Freedom Tower. So,
I mean, when you do a stunt like this, you got to expect to get into some legal repercussions.
right, all 4 men have actually been arrested.
Right.
Because of their actions. But I guess it is a story to tell for the rest of their lives.
I mean, a lot of people, do these kind of hair-raising stunts. Like I know Nick Waldema, he tight-roped across the Grand Canyon.
Right, and that one was legal. That one was all set up. And so, do you think like this feat is as
daring?
Yeah, daring as Nick Waldela's feat.
I mean, walking over a tightrope in the Grand Canyon isn't something that, I dream about doing. But, I think they're both, things could have gone wrong there. But
yeah, the thing is that a normal human would not have done either of these things. But this brings up some questions for me. Do you think like that there's some real security concerns that these 4 random guys were able to just walk up to the top of the Freedom Tower?
a little bit. If I was the security guards working at the Freedom Tower and I saw this, play back, I'd be a little concerned.
I'd be very concerned. And I also think back, you have to think back because 13 years ago now, people were jumping out of the World Trade Center to their deaths, and now this is kind of distasteful in my own thought process that they would just jump off the new records, for me, I don't know. I thought it was cool, but then I also thought it was a little distasteful.
Some people just need to get that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, but when we come back, we have Michelle Martinelli. She'll be sitting down with us in studio. Welcome back. We're now joined by the multi-talented Michelle Martinelli. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course.
Let's start off first by talking about the Donkey Show. What is it?
What is it?
That's a good place to start off.
That's a great place to start. So Club Oberon is the second stage of the American Repertory Theater. So the Donkey Show is a interactive theater experience that happens there every Saturday night.
Now, I've seen a couple pictures from the show. There are a lot of disco balls,
Yes.
colorful lights,
Yes.
glitter. I love it.
The Donkey Show is the story of Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream, but set in 1970s disco. So the club is meant to be a recreation of Studio 54.
That's the kind of disco I would go to.
Right,
kind of party I
right.
would go
It's a great time. It was created to get young audiences, particularly college students, more interested in theater and in Shakespeare.
So, you as a cast member, what are you like usually doing?
I'm an understudy, so I
Okay.
fill in for multiple roles whenever somebody's sick. I'm the
Okay.
first person they call. So I've played 3 different roles in the Donkey Show.
Oh, awesome! So you have to be ready for anything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. Now, I also hear you're the host for this year's EVVYS.
Yes, I am.
Hey, that's
Hey.
exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty fun thus far.
So what has the process been like so far?
We haven't done too much yet. I've been to a couple writers' meetings. We've started filming all the promotional videos. We've done some marketing photo shoots, and we've already started working on the opening intro video. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Matt Newman is great to work with.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of the videos, and I also remember actually going into host callbacks with you, reading our script, and then also having to improv a little bit, and you were fantastic.
Oh,
So I
thank
think
you.
you
Thank you so much.
completely deserve this.
Right,
Right. Do you have any hints for us?
I know you're not
What's the
supposed to
show
say
going to be
anything.
like? Any
Oh,
theme
you know,
ideas? Or
my lips are sealed. Zach Ehrlich has me on a
Hey.
pretty tight leash, so I don't
I
think
probably
I can-
called you before this interview.
Probably did. He keeps regular tabs on me. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience. You know, Zach is one of my closest friends, and Matt as well. So it's been a fan fiction.
really
type
quickly, where
thing.
could we see the Donkey Show?
The Donkey Show is at Club Oberon
Okay.
in Cambridge at 2 Arrow Street every
Okay.
Saturday night at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m.
All right,
Alright.
Michelle, thank you so much for
Awesome.
being here.
And
It's a
also
pleasure talking
submit
to
to
you.
the EVVY Awards while you're at it. But this year's NCAA Sweet 16 is looking to be a good one. But it's probably only half as good as the Rager that was Bianca Bono's Sweet 16, which sadly I wasn't invited to. Here she is now.
Thanks, Mike, and good morning. We start today with some tragic news. The Buffalo Bills' longtime owner, Ralph Wilson, died on Tuesday. He was 95. Wilson helped found the American Football League in 1960 and has owned the Bills since then. He played a major role in the league merging with the NFL and was inducted into the Football Hall of Fame in 2009. Wilson had been receiving hospice care at home in Michigan, which is where he passed away. On a lighter note, the Boston Red Sox are just 1 week away from opening day. Can you believe it? Boston will face the Baltimore Orioles on the 31st in Baltimore. Left-handed ace John Lester will be the starter. The home opener will be on April 4th against the Milwaukee Brewers. Manager John Farrell says that Shane Victorino is still playing in minor league games, receiving treatment on his left side. He believes he will be ready for opening day. Speaking of college championships, let's talk March Madness. The Sweet 16 kicks off today and into tomorrow. While all 4 of the games tonight are going to be great, there are 2 that you have to watch. The first is Dayton and Stanford. These 2-digit ranked teams are fighting for a potential spot in the Elite 8. The other game is Arizona and San Diego State. I touched on this matchup on Tuesday, and I'll say it again. These schools are huge rivals on the West Coast because they both recruit players from the Southern California area. Number 1 seed Florida also plays tonight against UCLA. That's all the time I have for sports. Mike and Brittany, back to you.
Thank you so much, Bianca. Now, you talked about Shane Victorino a little bit, and, you know, I love him. Gotta love him. But do you think he's ready for opening day? I heard he had a little bit of an injury.
Yes. So what we saw in the offseason was Shane Victorino getting surgery on one of his fingers, but that's not the injury that we're talking about right now. On Sunday night, he reported that he was feeling some discomfort on his left side. We don't really have any details as to exactly what part of his body he is feeling some discomfort in, but he is playing in the minor leagues right now, but apparently it's nothing of concern. Manager John Farrell does believe that he still will be ready for opening day in a week.
Now, you talked a little bit about your predictions for the Sweet 16, but who do you see really making a run through the Sweet 16, but then also even farther into the Final Four and maybe even your championship prediction?
So, yes, my 2 championship teams are still alive, Florida and Louisville, but as for the games tonight, I see Arizona beating San Diego State barely. Florida, I think they're going to have no problem against UCLA. They are the 1 seed and arguably the best team in this tournament. And as far as Dayton and Stanford goes, I honestly have no idea. It's a 10 and 11 seed. It's going to be very, very close, so watch that one if you can.
Yeah, Florida has that interesting matchup in the Elite Eight where they're either going to face a 10 team or an 11 team.
Exactly.
So they got it pretty easily.
All right, thank you so much, Bianca. Now, the only way Nick Cannon can make it back into the news if he did another interview about Mariah Carey or something extremely offensive. So which is it, Christian?
Extremely offensive.
Guys, in order to promote his new album, White People Party Music, Nick Cannon donned whiteface as his new alter ego, Connor Smallnut. If this is what post-racial looks like, who knew it'd be in a beanie and plaid flannel? Cannon posted a picture to Instagram of him in the full getup with captions and hashtags galore, ranging from "It's official, I'm white" to hashtag cream cheese eating. Cannon has received an array of both positive and negative reactions. The words double standard have been thrown around by both of the polarized viewpoints. Cannon explains himself, telling Us Weekly that whenever he goes to parties, it seems that the white people are having the most fun. But let's be honest, it doesn't quite matter the publicity stunt Cannon pulls for any of his albums. We're still not going to listen to any of them. Gwyneth Paltrow revealed that her and husband Chris Martin are split. Oh, excuse me. Consciously uncoupling. She released word on the website that the two have decided to, quote, uncouple and co-parent. Apparently, the couple's marriage had been on the fritz for the past year, and they've tried time apart and together to explore their options, but ultimately decided it was time to end things. The couple have bought separate properties and plan to live apart. Despite her annoyingly bougie diction, I think it's fair to say that, Gwyneth, you can do better. Speaking of annoyingly bougie language, Lady Gaga released not a new music video, but an art pop film this week, and it's a doozy. The video starts with Gaga as a wounded bird woman who drags herself to Bravo's Castle of the Gays, where the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Andy Cohen reside. Throughout the 12-minute short, Gaga resurrects important pop culture icons, including Michael Jackson, turns herself into some Legos, and has multiple dance routines that all scream, "Reblog me" on Tumblr. It wasn't until those quintessentially Gaga dance moves that I was convinced of the concept as a whole, and overall, I'd say it was definitely worth seeing. Miley Cyrus channeled her inner llama last Friday when she decided to spit all over her fans. In an attempt to rev up her crowd, Miley took a swig of her water bottle and not once, but 3 times spit the water over a section of her crowd. Despite how disgusting that sounds, her fans reacted with applause, cheers, and some tweets asking why their section didn't get the same treatment. On the same tour, Cyrus has managed to draw herself back into the limelight numerous times, including when she decided not to wear any clothes, when she motorboated a backup dancer, and when she stuck that infamous tongue down Katy Perry's throat. That's all the juicy gossip I have for you today. Back to those hooligans on the couch.
Miley Cyrus always finds a way into Christian's stories.
Yeah.
True.
Christian, if you had to pick any Bravo star to put in your music video, who would you put?
Oh, definitely Nene Leakes. Clearly. Me and her probably be sitting on a couch like rapping to Beyonce and Partition. See me up in a club with 11 girls. Oh, no one's gonna join in. That's okay.
I love it. Now, how did you react to Nick Cannon's new persona? It's a little controversial.
It's hot button, but I think we've like transcended people caring, I guess. But the one thing that kind of gets under my skin is Connor Smallnut. That just seems like a low blow. I don't know. It
Literally.
seems
Little.
immature and silly, and I feel like he's potentially overcompensating for something that he lacks.
Yikes. Now,
I like those dance moves. Like, that's kind of taken me a little bit into you. I like that. I like that. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Sharon Johnson's going to whip us into shape. Stay tuned.
Summer is coming and it's time to get in shape. So I went to the Common to start off my regiment boot camp style.
Emerson, and I do mean good morning because it is 6 a.m. I am out on the Boston Common. I'm getting ready for Evolve Boot Camp. Let's go get in on the action. I am out here with Shelly Devine, founder of Evolve Boot Camp. Why do you choose to do your workouts outside?
Well, for the most part, I love being outside, and my campers love being outside. Most often they're in the workforce, so they want to have some time outdoors, and this is a great way for them to exercise instead of being inside in a gym, to get outside. A lot of them too train. They participate in different events like running 5Ks, or some of them will be running the Boston Marathon this year, and so they want to condition themselves outdoors, so they're constantly adapting to seasonal change too.
How do your workouts change with the weather? Like
rain or shine is what it is. I mean, other than really bad inclement weather, we'll cancel the class and remake it up. But otherwise, we're pretty much out here all the time. And the classes, I mean, I shoot for safety. I mean, if it's icy, I'm not gonna have them, running on hard snow or, on the ice or whatever, but we will try to manage around that. And we do a pretty good job.
But what are the different exercises that you do?
Well, we start off with a warm-up, run-up Beacon Hill and back down. But after they do the warm-up run, then we'll go into some dynamic stretching, so that way they prepare, the muscles warmed up, they prepare for the bigger loads, like the push-ups, the squats, squat thrusts. At Evolve, we use different toys. We'll use medicine balls. Today we used dumbbells. When it gets a little bit busier and we have a lot more people in class, we'll focus on using resistance bands. I do a lot with agility ladder. That's an easy thing to carry around. Campers will end up doing that. I'll bring hurdles into the game. And so all boot camp is about having fun, staying healthy, being fit, doing kind of all the right things. It matters about happiness levels. And people, when they're physically fit, you get endorphins, you feel good, and you want to kind of maintain that.
Hey guys, I had a great time here this morning, but I'm getting ready to go back to the studio and kick your butt in boot camp. All right, guys, you ready to get this started?
Yeah, let's get right into it. High intensity interval training. Nothing sounds better at 9:25 on a Thursday
High,
morning.
intense bursts of energy with short recovery time, and it helps you burn fat really fast. So let's just get into it.
Let's just do
Let's
it.
go right into
All
it.
right, so what we're gonna do first is our jumping jacks, right?
All right,
10
all right.
jumping jacks, let's go.
Okay.
1,
This is simple enough. I could do
3,
it.
4, 5, 6,
Feel the burn.
7, 8, 9, 10. So now we're going to take it to jumping lunges. So these are
You
a little
combine the
bit
two. That's not even
difficult.
fair.
Yeah.
Jumping lunges.
So-
oh, no, okay.
Yeah. 3, 4,
Sharon, you're killing me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. All right. So now we're going to take it down to the floor. We're going to do lemon squeezers, which work your abs. That's
Lemon
why they're called-
squeezers.
We saw this in the script and we just cringed. The thought of lemon squeezers. I
such
have no
a-
idea what this even means.
It's so great because if you do these every day, your abs will be rock solid.
Okay.
All right,
so
girls.
We're all looking for.
I mean, it's bikini season, so.
Extend your legs
Okay,
and bring
you
them
keep your-
in. For yes.
So you extend your legs and then bring it in, right?
Exactly. Or if
Okay.
you're advanced, you can keep your arms up.
I can do this. I think I have a pretty strong
7.
core.
Yeah.
8. Oh, great job, guys.
Hey, we're doing
This
it.
is so much better than
All right.
Irish step dancing.
We're
And
athletes,
so-
Mike.
The last set in the round are inchworms, and so what we're gonna do them this way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so what we're gonna
So we
do
have nice-
is we're gonna start off, inch our way down.
Okay. Oh, it's like a little bit of a
Push up.
stretch to start off.
Exactly. And then inch our way back up, come back down.
Okay. And then how many of these are you supposed to do?
Well, if we
Well,
have,
if you had room.
usually you go all the way across the floor without stopping.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
man.
So
You guys ready to try these
yeah,
without
let's just
stopping
go
now?
straight into it.
All right, so
All right,
let's
guys.
try to go the whole round without
You guys are
stopping.
watching
many?
this right now.
15 or
Get
10?
up off the couch and do
What,
this
how much do
yourself.
you guys think you can handle? 15 or 10?
Let's do 10. Let's do 10.
All right, let's do
Honestly,
10.
let's
Ready?
be real. We're beginners.
All right, without stopping. Ready, set, go.
1,
2, 3,
Mom, you better be doing this at home.
6,
Get off the couch.
8, 9, 10 jump lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
8, 9, 10. Lemon squeeze.
Oh, my favorite one. We're good at this one.
Okay.
2, 3,
I can't do it anymore.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guys,
Sharon, you're killing me.
I think we've had enough for today. I think we've had enough. It's early.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
sleep.
good start. All right. Sharon, thanks so much for that workout. I'm going to keep
you
doing
guys
this
for
after
being
the show.
sport.
That's all the time we have for today. Join us right back here on Tuesday when Lloyd Mallison takes us around Fenway, showing us what we can do before opening day. Have a great weekend. Woo, I'm out of breath. Okay. Ready?